Incident response moves fast, and when information is scattered across tools and teams, even small delays can turn into really big problems. Welcome to today's SPK and Associates vlog entitled How SPK Uses Atlassian Rovo to Accelerate Incident Response. Today, we're going to take a look at how AI can help teams respond faster and smarter. I wish I had that back in my web hosting company days to be able to respond to things quicker and smarter using AI. But today I'm joined by Annika, one of SPK and Associates Atlassian consultants. Annika, feel free to introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi, I'm Annika Hatcher. I've been working for SPK a little over 3 years now, with a primary focus in the Atlassian suite, specifically Jira and Confluence. Done all kinds of migrations, and I am in charge of administering our Jira site and Jira sites for other customers. So I know all the ins and outs, and I'm looking forward to talking about Rovo with Michael Roberts today.
And Annika recently used Rovo to accelerate our own incident response here at SBK. Annika is going to walk us through a little bit of what she did, what worked, and what teams may be able to learn from it. So, Annika, first, before we implemented Rovo, what challenges were SBK's engineers, which are managing things 24/7, what did they get in terms of facing priority one, priority two type of incidents? We call them P1 and P2. What were they seeing?
Yeah, so I actually am one of SBK's engineers, so I can speak about this firsthand. Yeah, when a P1 or P2 comes in, the first thing you want to do is you want to alert the stakeholders. So the first step for that becomes finding out who the stakeholders are. So you have to go hunt that down. Usually Confluence, our knowledge base, is where we store all of our information about our clients and our issues. And then after that, the next step is to resolve the issue, which, unless you're some kind of tech wizard and you know everything, you have to go figure out how to resolve the issue. Unless it's, part of something that you're super familiar with, you probably don't know how to resolve it. I know I definitely don't know 99% of all the tickets I come across that come my way. You have to go hunt that information down as well in Confluence. All of this adds up into these precious minutes where you're looking for information, and there's definitely a lot of issues. Not every issue is unique and can get the same issues over time. So that becomes repetitive. You're looking for the same information over time. We definitely recognize that those minutes could be saved by implementing Rovo. As you mentioned earlier, even the tiniest of delays can be really, crucial. We implemented Rovo in the hopes of saving that time and finding the information for the engineer so they don't have to, especially when it's like the middle of the night, 2 a.m.
You don't want to manually look things up at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, your brain is, half asleep already. So the quicker you can get that hunt down those stakeholders and the steps to resolve, it's just a win for everybody. It's a win for the customer because their issue gets resolved faster, and it's a win for the engineer who gets to go back to being productive or, back to sleep. So yeah.
Okay, so can you give me a little detail about what that Rovo agent does when we get a P1 or P2 ticket now? What did you implement, and how does Rovo help eliminate that extra time that would be manually spent?
Yeah, so the keyword being that manual labor that I was talking about, that's where Rovo steps in, and it does kind of that busy work, the finding the information for you so that you don't have to go looking for it. Because I know as an engineer, whenever I would get a P1, it could be kind of frustrating trying to find the information, not just in Confluence, but I would find it hard to navigate. Like, I had multiple sources to check. I would check Confluence articles about specific alerts, which is like the most helpful. But then if you can't find that, then I would usually turn to Jira for like previous tickets, or even like Slack for Slack messages in our P1 channel. With Rovo here, we just started with the most basic. We have it check Confluence for relevant pages and documents about the specific alert. So what it does is, when the alert comes in, it takes a summary and I think the description of the issue, and it searches Confluence for those keywords. And if it finds a relevant document and it happens to find the stakeholders in that document as well, it will fill in those email stakeholders. So that is helpful on the issue in that field. And then it will also add a comment with the steps to resolution that it finds.
Which is one less step you have to do manually. So again, I wish I had this about 15 years ago. This would have saved me a lot of time and all the tickets that I was doing work on. So this is
Yeah.
really helpful. So I want to flip it. Obviously, I think, you've given what the value is to the SPK engineers, in the help desk doing that work. But from a client perspective, when, if it's a P1 or P2 alert on parts of their infrastructure or systems or solutions, how does that improve their experience with our SPK 24/7 monitoring for some of our managed services?
We are kind of the first line of response for customers when something goes wrong, their server goes down. They need people to step in and resolve that. As we've mentioned a few times, small delays while there's downtime, those can add up to big consequences. So every minute kind of matters. Those minutes that Rovo is stepping in and doing the manual work is shaving off those minutes. That can produce a big difference, or maybe even a small difference for customers, but that difference matters with how fast we respond to the customer, how fast we bring their server back online or whatever is happening. And that can save the customer downtime. That can result in financial savings, productivity. Their users don't have that blocker for as long and they can resume their work and resume being productive. So,
Yeah, there's always a financial impact one way or another.
yeah.
There's money, whether that's internal money or actual customer revenue money when systems are down. So yeah, last question I have for you, Annika. From an Atlassian customer perspective, so how, if we were to implement, and we have implemented Rovo in different instances for customers, but for this specific scenario, how does this technology with Rovo enable better ways of working, especially like a service desk or like our incident management for a priority one or priority two outage? How does that help people that may be using Atlassian for their service desk?
From an engineer perspective, there's less manual busy work that you have to do. You can focus on the really more complex work that you need to do. Work is also faster. People can be more productive because they're spending less time doing that manual busy work. From a service desk perspective, that just results in faster response times. Customers will be more satisfied, I guess, with those faster response times.
Absolutely.
Um, More work is being done, more tickets are being resolved faster. So a win for everybody on both
Yeah,
sides.
Rovo is really a big helper when it comes to reducing a lot of that manual effort, especially when, as you mentioned, that data is maybe strewn about multiple systems. So maybe it's in Confluence, maybe it's in Google Drive or a Slack thread or
Yeah,
something like that. So yeah, very
I
valuable.
feel like it also results in more reliable information. Like different engineers may come across different information, and that may result in different information being passed to the customer between engineers. So if Rovo is the one providing that information instead, it's going to be probably more reliable
More
than,
consistent.
different people. Yeah, more
Yeah.
consistent. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Annika, thank you for sharing like a real world practical example of how Rovo can actually make a difference when it matters the most, possibly at 3 in the morning. And what I really love about this story is that it's not theoretical. It's actually using AI in a workflow where it helps teams find information faster, reduces friction, and like you mentioned, hopefully gives customers a little bit more confidence that we can resolve issues quickly and with the understanding that there's a financial impact. So if you're thinking about using tools like Rovo and how Rovo can support your own incident management or your own incident response operations and workflows, SBK's team is happy to help. So please reach out to us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.